writing. So let me power it up, and there is my cat. She'll probably be running in and out. So how do we know if a writing company is trustworthy? Okay, so, thank you, Fluffy P51. Though I hope you do get to your homework. So how do you know if a writing company is trustworthy? There's a bunch of different websites that you can look at. I believe one is called Predators and Editors, and they tell you which companies are just there to take your money. Any of the big five, like HarperCollins and Random House and Penguin, are definitely trustworthy. With agents, you can look at what books they've published. Also, if anyone's trying to take your money, they aren't trustworthy. They will get money from your book after it's published. Okay, so here is Expired. I hope you guys like it. I tried editing some of it today so that it wasn't just terrible. So okay, I'll start reading this chapter. The last thing that happened was Colton was talking to his mom on the phone in the car. You have to pay to submit work. If you want to submit work to a literary journal, they may charge you a fee because it's a competition, but there's some that won't charge you. Okay, so in this chapter, it's from Iris's point of view. How do you get paid if they use your work? How do they get paid if you... Okay, so if you're in a literary journal, unless it's a competition, you're not going to get paid for it. If my cat's going to knock down my bookshelf, if your book gets published by a publishing house, then you'll get like a percentage of that, and they'll get a percentage of that. And my cat is making me very nervous. I'm not sure what she's even doing right now. Okay, so this chapter. The sky is still dark as Eric stops the limo in front of where the gate was we'd crashed into. The gate, of course, has been replaced now. I can make out the outline of the mansion, and a few places light shines through the windows. Will an angry mob be awaiting me? My stomach twists like someone's making a pretzel out of it. Eric rolls down the window, and a man sticks his head out of the toll booth light compartment. The poor man's shift must seem to go on forever, unless the society receives frequent visitors during the night. Trusace, is that you? His voice is shocked. Eric doesn't immediately answer. It's me, Eric. I don't think I can let you in. Jonas sticks his torso over the console. It's all right. You have my permission to open the gate. Yes, Preeminence. He pops back into the booth. A moment later, the black wrought iron gate opens slowly, only serving to build up my nerves. Jonas leans back onto the closest available seat. He looks at me from the aisle. Are you nervous? Eric's already started driving the limo toward the mansion. Of course she's nervous. You're making me drive her to her death. I am Preeminence. She has nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. Only death. The society. Whatever humanoid thing they are. Eric shakes his head. You're too blinded by your feelings to even have good judgment anymore. Jonas's face twitches. Eric. Eric slams on the brakes and puts the car in park, throwing us all backward. We're stopped in front of the mansion where a large group of people are gathered. A porch light flicks on, and they all become clearer. The society. Well, I don't see any pitchforks or torches. And if you hear like a big pounding on the ground right now, that is my cat. I'm sorry. Bentley and Sebastian and Z step out first, merely nodding as they walk past everyone. Riley follows, but hugs a few people on his way to the house. Colton exits next. Within a second, Vienna has her arms wrapped around him and her head buried in his neck. Colton seems startled for a moment, but he quickly hugs her back, and they just stay there, arms around each other, Vienna's head in his shoulder now, and his head on her neck. It's one of the sweetest things I've ever seen. They really love each other. Luke and Percy, followed by Bryden, are next. They drag the receptionist with them. No one seems to know what to do with him. Eli shakes his head as he steps out. Eric sits unmoving in the driver's seat, his back straight. Don't make her do this. Jonas looks at me carefully. Are you okay with this? A week if things don't go well? He nods. I promise. Through the window I look out at the crowd sighing. They hate me. I scratch my cheek. But they might actually make this fun. You have a weird way of looking at things. Jonas shakes his head, moving toward the open door. I scoot closer toward Eric, which means closer to the door. Jonas exits, greeting everyone. What's a week? Eric asks. 7 days. Jonas and I made a deal. If things don't go well this week, he'll make arrangements for me to live in a different country. Oh, thank you so much. That would really be amazing for me. And I'd love for you guys all to be able to see it. Sorry guys. He'll make arrangements for me to live in a different country. I'd never be able to see you again. You don't know that. He shakes his head and keeps his voice low. Jonas won't let me leave the country, but you can be sure he'll visit you. He'll still steal you away. I frown. I'll make sure you can come and visit. Honestly, what am I going to do without you? You're a permanent fixture in my life. I can't imagine you not being in it at all. I know, I'm your best friend. The bestest. He shakes his head with a snort. Jonas's voice rises at... Okay, I have no clue what my cat is doing. Jonas's voice rises so everyone can hear. I'm afraid a dire mistake has occurred, and it has nothing to do on your part at all. As you know, the last night we were all here together, my brother claimed our dear Iris was expired. It was nothing more than a deceitful game on his part. Colton will admit to it, and so will my sister Gwen for her part in the ordeal. Jonas made a phone call to Gwen on the way here. People will agree to anything when they want to go to sleep. Let us see her mark, a girl with blonde hair yells. I inhale. They're a mob. They're a freaking mob. She'll get them worked up enough to riot, and then I'll be killed, and Jonas will somehow be killed. Eric will be shunned by his family, and who's going to look out for the receptionist?